welcome back to Knitting in Our Jeans.
I lean this way.
Yeah,
we're still somewhat divided.
We're as far apart as we could get and still be in shot on the couch. Yes, we are in a new spot due to the replaced knee.
Yes.
So
yesterday.
Yes, and you've been getting around quite well.
Pretty well.
Yesterday was better than today, but yesterday you still had the block.
I still had the block in my knee. So
Yeah.
today's the first day without the block, and the morning was spent without pain pills because my first set of pills gave me a migraine. So
Yeah.
while they helped the knee, this was pounding.
Yeah.
And I can better ignore pain here than I can ignore pain in my head. I think that's why people get so upset about tooth pain, because it's right in your head.
Yes.
So, I don't know, do we want to go into the saga now?
Well, I mean, it's pretty front and center, so why don't
Okay.
we talk about the knee? Well, again, this is Knitting with in Our
Oh, yes.
Jeans.
Here
I'm
we are.
Liz, and
I'm Carolyn.
on Instagram and Ravelry, you can find me as Toolizzforyou, TOOLIZZFORYOU. Again,
Better.
we wanted to apologize for the lighting. You should see how our lighting is set up in order to get this as good as we did.
The spotlights are at her apartment,
Yeah.
not here.
I can bring one over.
Well, and it would be kind of scary to hold a flashlight on.
Yeah, so I'll bring one of our big
Okay.
lights over for next week. We
Right.
just didn't know we didn't know if you were going to feel up to even recording this week. So,
I know.
so
Okay.
yes. So how can people find you on the internet before you get into it?
Work on that. I'm cpredmor on Ravelry, and I post on Instagram as Knitting in Our Jeans, and I haven't posted about our garden last week, and if I get over to the kitchen and take a picture, I will show you this week. We have several tomatoes.
We have at least 12.
I've been flicking them. Apparently, you're reading last week of flicking the tomato plants. So I've been flicking the tomato plants, and they'll self-germinate.
Pollinate.
Thank you. That was
You're
the
welcome.
word. Anyway, so they're doing pretty well. I think ours looks somewhat deformed only because somewhere in the last 3 weeks, I really let the water level go down, which is how we ended up with lettuce that was wilting. So that was my clue. That, holy crow,
Yeah.
these things are using more water than they used to.
Yeah.
But we now have tomatoes, and I really can't wait. I think that we need about 3 or 4 more pots in order to have a full vegetable selection, which is what I'd like. But we'll get to that. Today I managed to. I sat down here and went down my list of things that we need. One is a set of sheets. Because we've got one set of sheets where there's no elastic in the bottom fitted sheet. I was like, really?
Is that what you asked Dad? Why you asked Dad to tuck your sheet in last night, or was that the top sheet?
That was the top sheet.
Oh, okay.
It had gotten kicked loose. So anyway, but that is the set of sheets that's short and has shrunk, and they were not the best quality sheets in the world. So anyway, I ordered a set of sheets. I splashed out. Fret was having, actually it's not Fret, Neiman Marcus was having a sale. I managed to get a set of Fret sheets for half price.
I was going to say, sorry to interrupt, but do you want to set a timer for your icing?
No.
No? Okay.
It's been more than 20 minutes, so I can do it whenever.
Okay. You're getting too cold?
Yeah, it was freezing. And what else? Oh, and then I got a couple more shirts. So anyway, Neiman Marcus is having a sale. Their usual end of summer sale.
So if you have anything that you need that you usually get at Neiman Marcus,
or Ellen, or any of the middle tier designers. Ellen, can't remember her last name. It's not Ellen Tracy, but it's something. And so you can get some things that you'd be looking and going, really, I don't know if I could spend that much. For example, I got a shirt for $45 that sold for over $200. So,
not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all. So might be something worth looking at. Anyway, so I was down here this morning ordering up stuff, that was needed, because you do need to have more than just sweaters in your life. especially with the summer we've had, right?
Mm-hmm.
So surgery. We finally had the surgical date of September 12th. I only told my mother today because I was afraid it would get moved again and then she'd be revved and have to change her calendar and it would be bad. So anyway, finally told my mom that I had it done. She got flustered and said, I'll have to call you back. I went, okay. I was the first patient.
I was going to say, did you tell your brother you were having it done?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Because your brother's going over to Nana's, and so Nana's going to go, did you know?
I only told them the specific date on Friday. So
the only reason I say this is so that, because Nan will probably have to, work it through with someone, and it'll probably be him.
Yeah. No, I called them on Friday,
okay.
And so it wasn't that far ahead. They're not going to get bent out of shape if the date moves.
No, I know they won't.
That was fine. So I was the first patient. We went in, and even though I'd had a positive test for the
antibodies
serum, they did a COVID test anyway. Apparently, they're testing everybody who's going for surgery for COVID because apparently you might be a carrier, so you could have had it and still be carrying COVID. So they did a nasal swab. It's not bad. I mean, after it's done, all I want to do is get in there and itch the inside of my nose because, the whole thing has been just a little irritated. So, but after 2 minutes, it was absolutely fine. So, absolutely not a problem. And I understand that they're developing now a spit test, which would be even easier. So that's cool. So I'm negative for active COVID. And then they ran some blood tests to see if there was any kind of inflammation as a residual of the COVID. We really think that when I was sick at the end of January, that was COVID, because I haven't been ill since then. But I was the typical kind of COVID, or one of the typical kind of COVID cases where I had a low-grade fever on and off for 10 days or so. I had a cough, which the whole thing eventually went to bronchitis, as usual. Mm-hmm. So we think it was then. Anyway, it's a partial knee. So it's the right half of my left knee was replaced. And I was out of surgery by 10:15 or so.
At 10? Dad called me prior to 10 o'clock.
Really? Good. I woke up at 10:30. And then they said, can you wiggle your toes? I went, I can't wiggle my toes. And I spent the next hour trying to wiggle anything that could wiggle.
9:45, Dad called.
And by 11:30, I was wiggling everything. So I had toes on the operated leg, toes on the other leg. I mean, it's great.
Good.
So that was good. They fed me lunch. Always good. I had a nice turkey sandwich with apple juice. Oh, it was wonderful. And then the physical therapist came in.
Okay. The one you're going to be seeing virtually?
No.
Oh.
It's one of her department, though.
Okay.
I am going to be doing telemed, where I'm going to be having someone from Hospital for Special Surgery taking me through physical therapy, much like seeing me on an Instagram Live or a YouTube Live, where we'll be able to converse back and forth, and we've already set that up. So that's good. I have done a couple of the physical therapy things they wanted me to do, but they're so cute. They say, don't do this if it hurts. Let me tell you, just about everything hurts today. But we managed to get pain pills that
shouldn't
work
give a migraine.
And have not given me a headache. So that's good. The first set that they gave me, I popped a migraine last night. I said, well, obviously we're not taking any more of those because it's not worth taking pain pills, getting a migraine, taking your anti-migraine medication. Mm-hmm. That just seems silly. So anyway, I've got a lovely stocking, a compression stocking on my leg. The leg is not hugely bigger than the other one because we've been icing it like crazy. Mm-hmm. And the surgeon said he was thrilled, so I guess I'll be thrilled. I mean, the news is that this only hurts about 2 or 3 times as much as it did before surgery, and this will get better. So that's a big plus.
And we would like to say hello to your surgeon.
Yes! Dr. Peter Sulko of Hospital for Special Surgery. And he
Apparently
actually
he found out about us.
Yes, and watched one of our blogs. I'm losing my mind. Vlogs beforehand, and he said he thought we were cute. That's sweet. So anyway, he's lovely, very peppy.
And wanted to know if or when we discussed about the knee
to send him a link.
So
we will.
Yes.
So everything is going pretty well. The icing machine comes tomorrow, which would be good, because then apparently there's always a little bit of compression on this area, so that helps. And then I assume it's on a timer so that it automatically does the 15 minutes on, however much time in between. So that's good. The biggest problem I have is this house, because it's a split level. There's no bathroom on this floor, which is the active floor. This is the living room, dining room, kitchen. So I have to go up the stairs to my bedroom and one bathroom, or two bathrooms, and then downstairs to the dental office area for a possible third, and that's actually easier because that's like 5 steps.
Yeah.
Whereas up is 9.
Well, this morning, I heard some shuffle. So when I stay here at my parents', I've become, ever since I lived back at home, I've become very attuned to Mom's morning sounds. So I'll wake up, confirm that she's okay. Like, in my head, it's like this, like, half awake.
She would listen to me get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to take my shower
and I would
to go to work.
I'd hear 10-10 winds, so I would know what, like, the weather and, like, the traffic conditions were. And then, like, make sure she, like, I think it's a subconscious thing of, like, make sure she doesn't slip and fall in the shower or something. I don't know. So I'm very used to hearing Mom's, morning noises. So this morning, I hear Mom's morning noises, and I think, and I remember thinking, okay, maybe she's gonna go back. Like, she went to the bathroom. Okay, I heard her go into the bathroom. I hear her, like, kind of in the hallway. So I'm like, is she going back to bed? Is she going into like the yarn room office? No. 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 And so I get up and I put my glasses on, and I'm not fully awake, and I lean out the door and I go, oh. Are you trying to go downstairs by yourself there? Looking and
which I'll be able to do probably in a week.
Right, but you looked and sounded like a kid who got caught with your hand in the cookie jar. You were like,
that's exactly right.
Yeah.
Because what I was going to do, I use a cane on the stairs and then the walker, which is over here.
Yes.
To get around on the flat surfaces. So I was going to throw the walker. Actually, I was going to fold it up, and I was going to let it slide down the steps, and I was going to take my cane and get down the steps, and then I'd have my walker down at the bottom. Obviously, can't go up steps that way, but I can go down steps that way. It wasn't that I was going to do without my equipment.
No.
Oh, and by the way, I had to take my wedding ring off, and I haven't been able to think about getting it back on again because it's upstairs. But I used the string method. I was getting quite concerned because I haven't had it off, I think, since you were born.
I don't think so. Yeah.
The one of the people, I had 7 phone calls from HSS on Friday, the day before. They were making sure that everything was set, and I knew what was going to happen. And also, very sweet, very, very complete. I have to say that the experience was marvelous. A happier bunch of people I've never seen. Happy on the phone, happy at pre-surgical testing, happy at 6 o'clock in the morning, actually 5:30 when we wandered in on Saturday. They've all been selected for being happy, which is nice. Anyway, one of the fellows there, he goes, if you don't get it off, they'll have to saw it off. I went, well, that's not good. It was my grandmother's wedding ring. This is not a plus. So then he said, no, on YouTube, there is a method for getting your ring off that never fails. And he looked it up. He sent me the link. I mean, he was like all over this, which was really sweet. And it worked. So the ring got off. That's a plus. Well, I can get it tonight or sometime. It's in a little jewelry box.
Okay.
So I was prepared. It went very, very well.
Well, did you have to have it off when you got your toe
No.
wiggled?
No. because the wiggle toe wasn't any broken skin.
Oh, and same with when you got your sinuses.
No, they didn't worry about it then.
Huh.
No.
2 of the major surgeries I can remember previous to now that I was just curious.
But, you know, with so much going on with COVID, I think they want to make sure that there's really no area that could be hiding bacteria or a virus anywhere. So I said, fine. We got in there. We went up to the family lounge, and then I was very quickly taken into a room where we started all the nasal swab and the changing and the getting the IV started. And it really went relatively quickly, and it was a lovely place because the window looked out on the East River. So we got to see barges going by. We got to see ferries going by.
I checked on your location, and it said you were on the FDR. And it's so funny because Hospital for Special Surgery has a overhang of the FDR, and I'm like, no, phone, you're wrong. She's in the hospital. She's just not over the FDR.
So we got to see a lot of large sailing vessels. That was really nice. Got to see the sunrise, and then I was taken.
So was Dad with you at that point?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, he was with me until I was taken into surgery.
Oh, okay.
My blood pressure hit a new high. Oh, so I look calm on the outside, but I'm like a swan with the legs are paddling fast underneath. So the anesthesiologist came in. So would you like something to take the edge off? I said, I think that would be a really good idea because my blood pressure's gone sky high, and it's because I'm nervous. I don't sound nervous particularly. I don't look nervous, but obviously I'm internalizing all of this. So they came, they got me, they were moving, and we got into the OR, and I went gone. Meanwhile, they gave me a spinal, so I had to be sitting up for them to give me a spinal. I had no memory of this. They then shot my knee with a local block, and then some kind of light sedative to make sure I stayed asleep. And as I said, I woke up at 10:30, all done. People say, oh, I'm sure you'll do well. Well, I did fine. I fell asleep. That's the whole thing about surgery. If it's a good surgery, I'm asleep, and I don't have to micromanage the doctor, which I would if I was awake.
Yes, you would.
Yes. You know. So then the physical therapist came in. Okay. She showed me how to use a walker, got to the bathroom, showed me how to get back, on the toilet, back up off the toilet, which is good, and then a set of stairs. So it's the good leg up first, going up the stairs, and then downstairs it's the bad leg, and then the good leg, because that way you don't bend the surgical knee as much going down. So that's what they're trying to, I guess, prevent is too much forced bending of that knee until you're ready for it.
Well, until you go to physical therapy and Zillig goes, and you go, I hate you. As we've been told is the case by my boyfriend's mother, who got her knee replaced last year.
Well, I've been doing, as you all know, I've been doing physical therapy up until Thursday.
Yes.
So I had a range of motion that went beyond 90 degrees. I mean, and beyond 90 degrees with 50 pounds of pressure. So I think, so the muscles are there, and it's just a matter of this area of recuperating so that I could go back to doing it. So there's a lot of degradation I can go through before I have a real problem. So anyway, then after the physical therapist came and we got everybody else signing off the sheets, I was ready to go home by 2. And then Richard managed to bring the car around by 2:30. I don't know what. They thought he was going to be there like that because he only parked across the street. So I have no idea. There must have been a run on getting cars out.
Well, Dad said that there was a bunch of construction in the area because when he called, he said, I passed a few construction sites when I got my bagel and cream cheese.
Oh, there's a lot of construction going on. So
it might have been that they were directing cars in certain directions, or he couldn't get out fast enough. Who knows?
Who knows? Who knows?
It's okay.
He may have gone around the block. I'm not sure. So anyway, 2:30, he shows up, and they wheel me down. The fellow who was wheeling me down, I had my socks that I'd had on in the hospital. They're nice and warm. And they've got grippies on them. And he said, would you like a few more pair? I went, sure.
Yeah, you've got like 4 on the table.
I have 4. 4 more pairs, so very nice. Because one of the things is my feet get cold, so this is really good.
And with all the icing, you will stay cold for a while. Right now, and they're grippy, so you don't have to worry about accidentally slipping on the doors.
Exactly. So got home, and Elizabeth brought dinner in. Excellent. After having been to knit.
Yes.
For public knitting.
Local yarn shop day.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, that's right. Public knitting's in June. This was local yarn shop day, so we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
So then, and I actually slept some last night. As I said, the first pain pills they gave me were not.
Well, you're actually touching your knee a lot more.
This is maybe hospital for special surgery. We're back. And yes, that was hospital for special surgery. I saw the prefix of 646, and I knew that was New York City. And it was one of the physician's assistants just calling me to check in, seeing how I'm doing, and I'm doing just as expected, so that's fine. She said that when it hurts to go from here down to the floor with it, that by the 3rd day that should kind of even out. So that's something to look forward to. Yeah. So I say, all in all, this has been pretty good, and you all will see me once a week as I continue to heal with all of this.
Yes.
With my dad, when he had his knees done, it took him he said that it's 9 weeks of hell and then you feel great. So whether it takes me 9 weeks or 10 weeks or 8 weeks, I know that each week it will be better.
Well, we're 10 weeks from Thanksgiving, so that's
all right. It's a goal.
Well, yeah. I was saying it's a goal to, maybe...
Not that we're going anywhere.
No, I was going to say to maybe be able to, walk around the block.
Yes, looking forward to that. I think we'll be able to walk around the block before that.
I do too, but
it's a shame because my brother's house has finished down on the James River, and in fact, they're moving down there tomorrow, and we're retired. We could go, except for COVID. And Virginia is one of the states that's off limits unless you want to quarantine when you get back. It's like, they built the house, had the house built, but they didn't have everything finished to cut down on some of the expenses. So they're going to be doing some finishing work when they first move in. But my sister-in-law, I spoke to her on Friday, is over the moon. She's so excited, and she should be. It's a gorgeous location. They're right on the James River, about 30 feet up, and looking out over the river. Just beautiful, just beautiful. So I wish them the best. So I think Thanksgiving will be there from now on, but not this year. Anyway, so that's the news about the surgery. I'll keep you all posted.
Yes, and from the outsider perspective, because I had thought about coming with you guys, and Dad and I had thought about it, but we weren't sure if I was going to be allowed, if Dad was even going to be allowed in.
Right. Until
you had the pre-surgical, and then, and by that point we had decided that I wouldn't. But, it seemed from all accounts pretty,
pretty seamless.
Dad got a call or a text or something from the doctor when you were finished with surgery. Which I thought was great, instead of, coming out and talking to them, being conscious of protocols and everything.
HSS is very conscious of protocols.
Which is great.
They don't want to spread any COVID at all.
They don't want to be the center of an event.
They do not.
But they also want to make sure that their patients are still getting served, which is great.
It is.
But I thought that was lovely. That, he kept Dad informed, and that Dad was able to stay at the hospital.
Yes, they have a family waiting room. And in the afternoon, I guess about 1:30, the receptionist at the family waiting room asked Dad, would he mind if she went in just to check on me, and then she could report back out. And he went, oh, that would be great. So she comes in, and she's this gorgeous little girl. She's probably about 22. So, from my advanced age, she's a little girl. And she's just gorgeous, and she was so pleasant that morning. She comes in, and I waved her from the bed, and I said, hi, how are you? She says, oh, you remember me? I said, yes, I remember you. And she said, how are you feeling? I said, I'm feeling pretty good. She goes, okay, I will go and report back. So went back to Richard, told him I was doing just fine. So, really lovely people.
Yeah, and I mean, you got calls. You got some calls yesterday to check in on you. You got
Yes.
some calls you've gotten called today to check in on you.
Yes.
They were very responsive with the meds.
Yes.
So all in all,
I recommend them highly.
Well, and I'd say your getting your knee done during a pandemic has been smooth sailing.
Yes. Yes. Because
So.
we've been trying to follow the rules.
Yes.
And I think that makes all the difference.
Yes. And
I am quite pleased that I've got antibodies.
we don't know what it means yet.
We don't know, but
As a
it does
society.
also explain why I'm a little breathier singing and why my range has diminished.
Yes.
Which is,
Frustrating.
yes. But it is what it is.
Yeah. So, before the surgery, did you work on anything this week?
I've worked on things since the surgery.
I
too.
know.
All right,
But I figured
so-
we'd start with, whatever you've been working on this week. Oh my god, I just realized you put the needles in her hand.
Yes. Olivia has feet.
They're
Look
so
at that.
cute. She is so cute.
I'm not quite sure what comes next. I'm doing one section of the instructions per week. So I even managed to get the feet on going the right direction.
Good.
Yes, and I'm now keeping my 4 needles in her hand. Obviously, she will not be delivered like that, but it does help me keep my needles together. So we got feet this week, and we will, there's a cardigan, so maybe the cardigan is next. And I really do want to draw out the face before I go at her with a needle and thread to put the face on. But we're getting there. So this will be a Christmas present that's done. And then I thought I need to think about what about for Mom.
I know.
I'm thinking that she wants
Well, remember how she really loved the cardigan I made?
there's that. Maybe I'll make her another pair of mittens because she likes those.
She does?
That's what she says.
Okay.
She may be lying through her teeth.
Oh, no. But when they were taking Chloe for walks in the winter, yeah. That makes sense.
So anyway, I may make her another pair of mittens. She's very difficult because she doesn't need anything.
She's not, but it's not that she's not knit-worthy.
Right.
It's
She
just
She really wears the same thing over and over again. So she's become very much like her mother, where she will save the gifts. I'm not quite sure what she's saving them for, but she saves the gifts.
Yes.
So, so
It's fun.
maybe
Maybe a cowl and
maybe a cowl. A
and
cowl might
mitts.
be good because then she doesn't have to twist it.
You could do one of those bulky brioche ones.
No, she's not a brioche person.
She's also not a bulky person.
No, the bulkiness would not. She's a tiny woman, and it would overpower her.
Oh boy.
So anyway, we'll let you know. We'll let you in on our thinking as it goes along.
Yes.
So I will finish Olivia first, and then we'll go on to what we do for Mom.
Mm-hmm.
So what have you done?
So I really haven't picked this up until yesterday and today, but I'm still on the sleeves of my Engle, which is just so pretty, but it's so frustrating because it's Sleeve Island, and it's
I
mohair.
don't even want to hear about Sleeve Island. I am on Sleeve Island with that thing.
I'm just saying that Sleeve Island is not our favorite place to be.
Usually sleeves don't bother me, but having knit these sleeves once before,
I'm sorry.
Then I am a bit frustrated.
Yes. So what are you
Leaning
referring
back.
to?
I'm referring back to my travel circle sweater.
Uh-huh.
And this is, I thought I'd have the sleeves done, but with everything else that was going on, I didn't get them done. And I did. Where's the other sleeve?
You are
There it is.
touching your knee a lot more than yesterday, so it must be feeling
It is feeling better.
doing a little bit better now.
So I have done both of them to this point, and then I've decided I will finish one because it's easier just to go from one color to the next up one sleeve rather than trying to switch
Like
the colors.
stripey
But I
though.
do like the stripe. Oh, there you can see them. So it's the sleeve, the sweater color, and then the charcoal gray and the sleeve color. So it's alternating every decrease. And then I'm putting stitch markers or
To
place
denote.
keepers to denote where I've done the decreases so I can count them to make sure I then have the same number on the opposite side.
Nice.
I have, if you remember, the directions for these sleeves were to knit them flat.
Yes.
Having inserted them into the coat, I don't see why you need to do that. So I have already stitched the seam on this one. I have not stitched the seam over here. So at the bottom, it's still open, and I will stitch that closed. But I am very happy with the way this looks, and so as a hack for the sweater, if you run out of yarn, then I think striping the sleeves will work out really well. So I have worked on this. I have done, maybe 4 stripes, because I've done at least one over here and some over here. So I'm hoping that next week I'll be able to show you a finished sweater, because tomorrow the icing machine comes. Sounds like I'm going to be running an ice cream machine. But no, it's a machine that will pump ice water around my knee. And it's cold. I have gotten quite chilly with the ice surrounding my knee.
Well, I was going to say, do we want to put a sock on this foot over the compression? Would that help with the cold, too? To have both your feet?
Possibly. We can think about that.
I just thought of that now.
Tomorrow the machine from HSS comes that will be circulating ice water. Mm-hmm. My husband has already started stockpiling ice.
Yes. We
had that phone call on Thursday, and one of the questions we were asked was, how fast does your refrigerator make ice? I said, it does it pretty well. It's a large capacity one. So Richard immediately went and dumped the ice that was in the ice maker.
Into a Ziploc bag.
Put it back in the freezer, and so he's been making ice as if it was the New Year's Eve party.
About every 6 hours. He has a list of when he dumps the ice.
He has a file.
The time.
Yes. I expect it to be made into a chart soon.
I don't know. He's not, ever since he retired, he's not a real big chart person anymore. He's much more just general list.
We have ice, yes. We have ice for the ages, so we probably will have enough ice.
Yes.
Meanwhile, we've been using ice packs to ice the knee down, and it's really done pretty well. It's really not a whole lot more bigger in size than the regular knee, but then, as I said, I've got this compression sock on it, so that works pretty well.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the other thing I did. So
what I have been working on is my Pixelated Pullover, which I got to the sleeve separation.
I love that.
Yeah. So
I'm glad you picked those colors.
I know, and I'm really excited for the yellow with the cuffs and a hem. I'm glad I'm not doing it at my neck because that'll wash me out.
Yes. Blue and yellow at the neck would be terrible.
But here, you can see it down here. It's the pixelation looks really lovely. The back looks really good, y'all. It fits. It currently just covers the ladies. And so what I've decided to do, because I just started the second ball of the teal, is I'm going to do the pixelation for the next pixelation for the body, and then I can do the sleeves. And if I run out of yarn in the sleeves, in the pixelation there, we can figure it out. But I want to have enough to finish the pixelation through the body.
Is the most important.
And then I'll go and I'll do the sleeves once I get through the pixelation, the second set of pixelation. The one thing I have been thinking about is the pixelation is about 4.5 inches.
Yes. So
after you do that, then you're supposed to do your waist shaping, which is about another 4.5 inches.
You don't have that much room.
I don't have that much room. So I think I'm going to have to start...
in the pixelation.
Yes. I think I have to start halfway through the pixelation.
You do.
I know. It's just frustrating.
Elizabeth is short-waisted. Her waist is up.
So you can't see it in this top, but my waist is right... I can feel it. It's right
10
here.
inches.
Yeah. So from here to here is, what, 6 inches? I measured it. Because the top comes to right at the underwire of my bra.
You got 6 inches?
I've got 6 inches that I have
to work
to get
pixelation and waist shaping.
And that's just not going to happen when it's calling for 8 or 9. Yeah. So I've got to do it halfway through. Well, and the thing is, it's kind of princess seam kind of shaping, or I think, I don't know, but yeah, more of a princessy or princess seam sort of shaping. So I'm gonna have to put extra markers to denote that because it's not side shaping. But all right, I thought I had figured that out, and like I realized I'm gonna have to do that. But yeah, I'm gonna.
You are.
Oh,
otherwise, it'll be boxier.
Yeah, and it's not worth it. Because also, if it ends up having to be shorter because of yarn yardage, then it's better to have the shaping where it should be versus, like, on my body versus where it should be for the pattern.
Absolutely. Well, it should be for you anyway.
Exactly. And what I was thinking about was that my other sweaters I haven't knit a fitted long sweater in a while.
Right, they've been boxy.
They've been boxier, which is fine. I mean, this one isn't very boxy.
No.
It's only got about an inch or two of ease around it, around my waist. But it is boxier than a fitted sweater, and that one I am knitting to be a fitted sweater, because I am knitting the 38-inch, because I'm doing it as per my high bust.
Right.
So, things you have to think about when deciding on sweaters.
Yes.
So what else?
I worked on the My Boy Lollipop.
Oh my goodness.
So I have done...
I love that little bit
of color work. So, yes. And I've almost gotten it to where I don't have to have a bubble out the end of the magic loop.
That's my... When you hit that point, that's like my favorite moment.
So I have gotten past the center increases. So this ought to start as I get longer. It will then have that cute little
cap sleeve, and then it'll have
that little thing,
the little sweetheart neckline.
Right. So that's where it will be.
Yes.
Because I am no longer doing increases down the center front, and so that's done. I stopped working on this to go back to the sleeves because you know me, I would much rather have a project and get it done rather than kind of doing a lot of little things. But the sleeves were making me aggravated one day, so I picked this up. So I did get, I think about an inch done on that, and then I've gone back to the sleeves. But the elephant in the room.
Well, hold on.
Oh, okay.
So I went home on Monday, and I went to my post box, and I had the best surprise gift.
For your Aunt Fred.
My yarn arrived for my Aunt Fred. So this is the Merlot color, or Bottle Shock color.
Wow.
From Knitting Rose Yarns.
Nice.
It's a little bit different. I think I have the other skeins in my bag, the other skein I have. So I think I'm going to use the other skein as the sleeves as much as I can, because it's already a color work. So
right. Oh, well that's good.
So, and then I'll use these definitely for the body. But I'm very excited because it's merino with 10% bison.
Cool.
So
that'll feel great.
It's pretty toothy.
That'll be nice.
Yeah, it's like soft and toothy at the same time. So that was really exciting for that to show up. It showed up, a month or so after it was shipped, and there had been no update on the USPS website, so it was very exciting that it showed up. I immediately messaged
the seller,
the woman who destashed it to me, and she was very excited as well. So all is good on that front. That will be my next sweater that I cast on. So once I finish the Engle, I am going to be casting that on because I really do want to knit that quite fervently. I did do some kind of back of the envelope calculations for my Mulberry Street, and I think I'm going to knit a size down.
Okay.
Because my gauge was large. But those I think will be my next two sweaters, just because I do want to get the things that, I've had queued for a while done, even though there are some new, shiny patterns that I very much want to do, but I probably shouldn't, or I should wait until I get a few more things done. Oh, but my friend did get I mailed off the Pincha shawl, and she loves it. It's perfect. So hopefully I'll be getting some finished object photos from her soon, because I forgot to take them before I sent it off. Because I'm a smart one.
Yes.
But yes, so what is the elephant in the room?
This is Lily Pulitzer fabric.
Yes, which I think we showed you a few weeks ago.
But we've now cut the pattern to make the dress. And so the dress is actually cut, the body is not going to be up here, it's going to be down here, because we cut it for the shirt and then added the skirt on. And it's going to be longer than the dress I have on now, which is my walking dress, which is basically, I think, a house dress that you just, I love it. You just throw it on over your head and go. Doing the short sleeve version, but there are long sleeves if I want to make this in a flannel or a stretch cotton for the winter, because it really is so easy to get out of your nightgown and throw something like this on, especially if you're not leaving to go anyplace. So I also got a note that Lululemon was having a sale, so I bought
more
2 new pants. One wide leg, because that's what I need for physical therapy, so I can roll up the legs and let them get to it. And then 1 pair of leggings.
Nice.
Yes. So Elizabeth has cut out the pattern for me.
I traced it onto Swedish pattern paper,
Yes.
and I cut it, and we fit the pattern.
Yes.
I didn't pin it with the seam allowance, but at that,
Close enough.
it's a more boxy, dress anyways, so
Right.
it's close enough.
So we'll get that cut
So
out.
I will cut that fabric.
So I have clothes.
Yes, I will cut that fabric.
Because I
today.
really don't want to be pulling pants on this week.
Yes.
Yes. I don't need that.
But do you think I'm gonna need to help you sew it, or you think you can?
I can sew it.
You sew with your for some reason I keep
I sew with
thinking
my
this
right
is
foot.
your left. This is your right foot, and I'm like, I'm looking at it. It's your left.
Again.
Yeah.
So I really am excited about this. I mean,
Yeah.
this fabric is from the 1960s.
Yeah.
Literally from the 1960s. It must have been someone's back shelf. Yes, it is eye-popping, but then when I'm walking or doing something, I want people to either miss me in traffic or know that they were aiming for me. So I am very excited about this, and that'll be nice to have.
So what I did also this week was I did a whole bunch of sewing, because Mom had been intrigued by this origami kind of style mask that No, it went back to regular.
There.
Sorry, the Tour de France decided to unpause itself from the recording we made earlier today. But so I had made up an origami mask, and I had mentioned in Nerd Girls that, or Nerd Enablers now, I guess is what we're called, that Mom had been interested in this. And everyone was like, oh, cool, okay. Maybe that, and then they were like, oh, but here are some other options. So this is the JSP, which is the Japanese square quilters. And it's also kind of folded. It's a bit more open in the back. It holds itself open a bit better.
Which is what I like, because if I'm doing physical therapy and I'm riding the bike and I'm doing all kinds of leg presses and stuff, I'm really breathing hard, and I don't like my mask to collapse on me.
So the only thing was that you then sew the opening kind of open, and I was doing that on my featherweight, and it decided it didn't like it, and the needle has become J-shaped. And I tried, I tried to, I put a new needle on, I rethreaded the machine, I rethreaded the bobbin, and It's picking up about every second stitch. So I think I upset the bottom at the same time. So I will call the
featherweight bobbin cases are relatively easy to knock out of whack. And I'm not that good. I mean, it's probably just a little twist of a screwdriver, but
yeah,
I don't know which way to twist it, and I wouldn't want to do that. I mean, the featherweights, I think, are over 100 years old. Not these featherweights, but the machine design itself. And they really were easy to maintain. We do have a local sewing machine shop in Bayside, Queens, and they do work on featherweights. So
I'll call them this week or next week. But the other mask I also made is this kind of modified design where it has darts under the chin, but also a flap that goes over your nose instead of just being a molded kind of piece like what I had been doing.
Right.
So
that holds it out a bit. Again, so it won't be collapsing on your face.
So yes, I made Mom 3 of all of the same fabric because I had them and I thought it was cute.
That's fine.
So now Mom has new masks for...
Once we put the elastic on.
Yes, for physical therapy, and also so that I can send them to a friend of mine so that we can decide what we're going to do for her wedding. So that because we are Girl Scouts, and even though we do not know the current or what the regulations will be, we will be prepared. So I just wanted to show you all the different styles in case you had some questions. So we have that one.
Under the light.
Yeah, and then...
So this has seams, princess seams.
Yeah, curved. And then this is a modified one, so it has a dart at your nose, so it holds out the nose better, and it has a dart under your chin instead of just being a curved piece of fabric. And then this is another one of those ones. And then this is also just a curved one, but it's a bit of a different design. It's one piece of fabric that is folded in half. And it's a very interesting design. It fits pretty well, but it's just a very interesting construction. I had to rip it out a few times to get the ear elastics to actually be the correct place. Because sometimes your brain just doesn't parse what it needs to. So just wanted to, we are fully prepared for this upcoming season. So I worked on those. We're working on your dress. Do you have anything else? Because I have one more.
I do not. I didn't work on anything else.
So I have a panel that I'm going to be on for work on Thursday. So of course,
she's making a dress.
I'm making a dress because I am my mother and grandmother's, daughter. So why not make a new dress for this?
I think it looks lovely.
Yeah, so this is out of that gray fabric that we had been talking about. It's going to be a wrap dress. So I cut out all the fabric this morning. And I have pinned the darts on the top. I will sew those, and then I will
do the underneath.
Huh?
Is there 2 layers on this dress?
No.
Oh.
Should I make it 2-layer, you think?
Yes.
Okay. So I will cut out another of the fronts.
Yeah, I would.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I didn't because on the pants I have in this fabric, you said I was crazy for thinking I needed 2 layers.
I think.
Okay. I will make for the top. For the top, I will make 2 fronts. I will 2-layer the front.
I think that's a good idea.
Okay. Well, and the skirt, I will just. I don't know if I have enough fabric. I could do a half-length lining.
That might be a good idea.
Yeah. Well, then I was going to say I still have 2 yards left of this fabric. I might not have 2 yards left after this.
No, but it would be well used.
It will be well used. I think I have a pair of pants, the joggers, that are not my fashionable choice.
No,
but they are very comfy. I could see if there's another really good mood sale, I'm getting some more like jersey fabric for that, because they're so comfy. But yeah, that's kind of
well,
what
it's
I've
been a busy
working
week.
on. Yeah, and I'm excited about this dress. I'm excited to finally, I feel like I'm finally moving along on the pixelated, because the pixelation takes a longer time than you would think, because you have to, it's not a pattern that you're exactly following, because I was still doing the armhole increases at the time, so you had to make sure that you were still kind of randomizing everything. So it's very interesting. But I'm excited about that. And I'm excited about this dress, like, very, very much.
Good.
So, and I think I should be able to get it done today. I should.
I think so.
Yeah. But I think it's time to
we've
weave
covered
in
the
our
water.
ends.
That's right. It's time to weave in our ends, and with those sleeves, we're gonna have lots of ends to weave in. But it's all good. Yes. And I hope by next week I'll have a finished sweater. Keep your fingers crossed for me.
Yes. And, well, I'm going to keep walking towards the camera while we say goodbye.
All right.
Sorry.
Yes.
Did not mean to itch your foot.
That's all right.
But we will see you next week.
That's right. Bye.